Heck, you know what I can't get enough of?
Space.
Love space. Rodina is an early access space exploration RPG developed by Elliptic Games. They're a small studio fronted by Brendan Anthony, who is a Bethesda Softworks alumni and worked on such titles as Elder Scrolls Oblivion and Fallout 3.
Yeah, and you can really feel the DNA of those games in Rodina. I mean, this is seamless space exploration. You can travel across the entire galaxy without even hitting a loading screen.
Even the menus are seamless. When I first jumped in to play this and clicked New Game, I sat there waiting for something to load. Turns out I was already playing.
What? That's cool.
Sneaky game.
That got me too. From this starting asteroid, you make your way to a marker on your HUD, which turns out to be your ship. And this is where you start to discover a little bit about what's going on in the galaxy.
Indeed. You are part of a vanguard sent to the Zorica system to make sure the coast was clear for the great colonial mothership to arrive, Rodina. It wasn't.
Nope. The rest of your fleet has been wiped out, and now it's up to you to upgrade your ship and take the fight to the enemy to clear a path for Rodina's eventual arrival.
At the moment, the upgradable components to your ship are weapons, hull resilience, and engine improvements. Getting engine upgrades gives you the ability to travel between asteroids in the belt, and eventually to speed your way across the entire galaxy with the ship's faster-than-light drive.
There's a good drip feed of ship components which help the story progress at a nice pace. Some planets have hazardous weather, so you need particular upgrades for your ship to be able to survive in their atmosphere. So you can't just go gallivanting around unchecked.
I like this game's hard sci-fi. There's some cool technical stuff going on. For instance, there are some encrypted images which require some serious computational arithmetic to decode. It's all way over my head, but I'm glad it's there.
It's not all dry and mechanical though. The writing is actually really sharp and does a great job of building a sense of greater universe. There are transcripts from TV shows, lottery call-outs, you know, just little things that add character to what is already a vast and ominous galaxy.
Yeah, I think if they included some NPCs, that would really help this. Someone to talk to out there and someone to care about. Between the asteroid belts and the planets, there is a lot of debris and supply caches to raid. But in terms of actual gameplay elements, it's pretty limited at the moment.
It is promising that the core mechanics of combat and flying feel fantastic though. Piloting your ship is an absolute dream. There's a real sense of speed, and once you get your head around the gear shifts, you feel like a total badass. Ah, this is awesome! Woo! Oh, whoa, too close. Best damn pilot in the sky right here.
And you need to be a good pilot because combat is tough. I got shot out of the sky time and time again. I did get into some amazing space battles though, so even dying is thrilling.
Yeah, the enemies have great weapon variety, and there are different strategies for taking on each new opponent. It's rewarding learning how enemies move and attack and discovering the best way to take them down.
Yeah, then the game starts throwing combinations of enemy types at you, which keeps the combat fresh and challenging. Oh, the number of times my ship caught on fire though. Kept catching on fire.
I think it's a great idea. There's so much tension as you try and fly far enough away from your enemies to jump back into first-person mode, grab an extinguisher and quench the fire before it destroys your ship from the inside. Oh no, 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 not good, not good, not good.
Just so fragile. I felt like any knock to my ship would start a fire somewhere.
I mean, you are getting blasted by alien cannons.
Yeah, well, I like the concept by default, but I just think it happens far too frequently. It breaks the flow of the combat. That's my issue with it.
Not again. Oh, okay, that's a big one.
But the difficulty does make it so much more rewarding. I loved flying around the battlefield post-fight and admiring the carnage that I'd just delivered. All of those little flaming wreckages, like beacons of victory.
You can't stick around too long though, or the AI will beckon enemy ships to come to the aid of their friends. So you really have to get in there and get out, or they'll get you.
Oh dear, here they come. Oh, no. And it's done.
I hope they add a system that lets you repair your ship. Its health does regenerate over time when you're out of combat, but on more than one occasion my ship got destroyed by enemies while I was on foot, forcing me to load an old save.
Ugh, come on.
There's so much potential for a game like this. I like thinking about all the features that could be added. Like, it'd be great to actually get supplies from the planets to repair your ships, or maybe a buggy while you're down there so you can drive around, because there's a lot of walking at the moment. And this is mostly because the planets are 1-to-1 scale.
Because of the low gravity, there's a bit of a tribes vibe to the movement. You gain inertia and slide off steep surfaces, which is cool. However, the landscapes can be a little crazy to traverse on foot. And being procedurally placed, some of the supply caches are just in the stupidest of spots.
I'm sure all that will get ironed out eventually. It's worth visiting each new planet, if only to gain new weapons. Your standard cannons have infinite bullets, but the more powerful weapons use up ammunition, which you collect from planets and asteroids. Even if you don't find any major items, the trip is always worth it just for the ammo.
It's actually insane how big the playable area is. I mean, you really do feel like you're in infinite space. It's a procedurally generated solar system with 4 massive planets, 50 big asteroids, and about 45,000 other rocks orbiting the central star. I mean, it's massive.
For me, this game is all about the landings, breaking into the atmosphere of a planet. As you start to hit the friction point, you feel the controls tearing away from you, and you have to fight to keep yourself upright, and make sure you don't go in too steep and burn up on entry. I don't know why I like it so much. It's just magical.
It really is. I mean, this game is absolutely stunning at times. There's real-world orbital spins, so there's a day-night cycle on every rock in the galaxy. It's just so lovely chasing that horizon in your ship, too.
It's an odd kind of beauty, too. The ships and planets are so beautiful from afar, but up close they don't have that much detail. I'm also not sure about those blocky ship effects and those flat textures. I hope they're just placeholders.
I liked it though. I mean, there's so much wonderful variety between the planets. I mean, that ice world really reminded me of Hoth.
Yes, as I was zipping across the snowy dunes, I half expected to see a little Han Solo waving me down. Can only dream of what modders may do with this game and put a bit of Star Wars into it.
Well, you can customize your ship's interior. It's a little fiddly, but it's a great idea. Like in all good space adventures, that ship is your home. It needs to feel cozy.
You do end up spending a lot of time exploring your ship in first person because it's on fire so much, so it's good to know the layout of it.
In terms of what this game is doing, it's hard not to compare it to No Man's Sky, which has been receiving a lot of attention recently and is a highly anticipated release.
Rodina definitely has enough going for it to make it stand out. The core mechanics of combat and exploration are interesting. This game does have a long way to go, but I look forward to seeing it evolve.
Yeah, I agree, and there's some pretty cool features that the devs are working on implementing, like boarding enemy ships and first-person gunfights. I mean, they're saying that their aim is to create Daggerfall in space.
Here's Goose!
It sounded really bad.